pacing back and forth. Oh, I don't understand why you're standing right here. All your shots have scored. No, scratching at the scars you left on my skin. We fight and we fall and we rise through it all till we find what we want, and we lose it all again. Your touch on my skin, pull me close, take me in. Just me, just you, lost in the moment.
Hello my gems, it's Karen. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hi. I'm real glad you clicked on this video. I do hope that you will stay, watch the video, and think about subscribing before you leave. Okay, my returning gems, I'm so excited to have you back. You know I love you guys. So we are approaching fall. Can you believe it? It was like we just approached summer like yesterday. So fall, and what is out for this fall? We have got the new Too Faced limited edition Cinnamon Swirl Sweet and Spicy palette that I am going to be using today and giving you all my thoughts, a review, and everything on this palette, and showing you how I got this look. Are you guys ready to get into this tutorial? All right, let's do it. All right, guys, look at that hair. I haven't straightened it yet. I just blow dried it and gave it a little bit of volume. Okay, so we are going to go in with, let's grab our brushes. Yeah, I'm a little worried about my hair, and I'm like, maybe I should have straightened it first, but I like to do that at the end and do my makeup first. You're going to hear Kayla in the background. Okay, so I'm going in with Flower Power over the MAC paint pot I put down on my eye. This shadow is a little bit powdery. It does blend out okay, but it has more of a powdery kind of feel to it. All right, so let's move on. I'm going to go to the next shade, which I believe is Dope Boy. I will put it on the screen for you. Now this shade blends out just fine. It's not really as powdery as the first one that I've used, but I'm really going to focus this as my transition shade. I've got a Luxie, I think it's a 231 blender brush, and I'm just putting it in my crease. And as you can see, I want the crease dark, and it's going to, by using this technique, make my eye look bigger, at least my lid look bigger, which is definitely what I want. So I'm going to work that in using circular motions and windshield wiper motions until I get the desired outcome. And then we're going to move on to something a little bit darker. Okay, so going in with Cinnamon Swirl, this shade is packed with pigment and I absolutely love it. I'm putting it in my crease and I am making sure that I darken my crease, but I am also setting like the tone for my eye. I'm kind of flicking it out a little bit so this way my eye will look lifted, and I'm making sure there's no separation in pigment. That where I've put the pigment down, you cannot see my skin through it. I'm going to use the same motions that I used and the same brush that I used just a second ago. Windshield wiper motions and circular motions, and like I said, I'm kind of mapping out the way that I want the end part of my eye to go. I want my eye to look lifted, so that is why I am using this technique here. Okay, so as you watching me map this out, I have used tape in the past for you guys that are makeup newbies, and I have shown you that if you put tape down, you can go ahead and blend your eyeshadow out, and this is what it looks like without using the tape. So I really am just darkening that crease and kind of flicking that up towards the outer part of my eye, so this way I can make sure that my eye looks nice and lifted. Oh, I am drinking a mocha coffee as well. I got mocha this morning. They're already out of pumpkin spice. I couldn't believe it. We're going to get into, I used matte so far, now we're going to get into using some shimmers, and I'm super excited to show you the color that I have next. I'm going to go in with a blinged brush. It is E number 2, and we are going to go into, what is that color? I think it's Toasted. Let me put it on the screen for you. All right, so take notice to how I am using my brush to my advantage. And I've got that end of my eyelid. I am basically like this. I wouldn't have, if I was wearing tape on my eye, I could just take the brush and go right over it and would not have to worry about covering up the part that I don't want to cover, if that makes sense. So really, I'm just using the brush with different ways to place on the color and blend it out so I still get that shape towards the end of my eye that I am looking for. And I'm going to go ahead and take some time to build this up, and then I'm going to flick the color towards the crease, just like that. And then we're going to move on to the lid. I want to darken the transition shade just a little bit, so I'm going to dip my brush into See Me Rollin', I believe is the name of it, and I'm just going to put it up there where the transition shade is, following that pattern that I have already laid out. And then we are going to dip into our next shimmer. All right, so I put some setting spray on my brush. I'm still using blinged brushes, E2, and I'm dipping into Frost My Buns, and I'm putting that on the middle of my lid, and I'm going to go ahead and blend that with the color that I just put down. I'm Toasted, and we're going to make that a nice transition. It's going to bunch up a little bit, but that's okay because we can take a sweeper brush after this and just go right over it to flatten it out and blend it really, really well. This is a super pretty color. I'm excited to be doing this nice fall look. What do you guys think so far? Of course, I'm going to put the shimmer a little bit above my crease to give that illusion that my eye does look bigger. And then we're going to go in with an even lighter shimmer for the inner corner. Okay, using the other side of this Nikita times Morphe brush, I'm going in with Gooey Goodness, and I am going to blend that with the last color I just put on my eye. And we're focusing on lightening that inner corner, hi Kayla, as much as possible. I love my eye to be lighter and then get a medium color in the middle of the lid and then a darker color on the outer part of the lid. So that is what we're focusing on here. I am using setting spray as well. We're just going to build this up a little bit. Okay, grabbing a Luxie large shader, we're going to go ahead and brush it right over all of that color on the lid to go ahead and blend everything together. I did not add any color onto this brush. It is just being used to blend out these colors. All right, let's get rid of the fallout that is underneath the eye with an Eco Tools brush. Just going to brush that right off. This is a brush that you don't have to worry about. It doesn't have that much control, so it's not going to push the product into your skin. Then I'm going to grab a Maybelline gel liner. It's like a charcoal kind of gray, and we're going to put that on my lower lash line. coating my lash line and my lower waterline with this charcoal kind of gray. The reason I'm using that and not a brown is because at this point, with all the colors that we have put that are neutral and browns on the eye, if we were to put brown liner on, it would just wash everything out. So I'm going to be using black liner, and I'm going to add a wing to this look. Okay, going in with my Ipsy packing brush, I'm using Gooey Goodness as my brow bone highlight. I'm also going to put a tad bit of that on the inner corner as well. I follow it down a little bit because I've got so much space right there. I want to go ahead and cover that, making it look like everything flows nicely together. I did put liquid black liner on the top part of my lash line and did a wing. I used the Tartiest. I love that liner. It is pretty amazing, and it was the marker-like tip, which is, you have to apply that in a certain way. I do have other videos showing how to do a wing on a mature eye if you're interested. Okay, so I've got a Luxie pointed brush. We're going to dip that into 2 different colors for underneath the eye. Okay, so the 2 colors I am using is Cinnamon Swirl and Batter Up. They are both mattes. I've mixed them together and I've put them on my lower lash line, and then we're going to go in with a different brush to blend and smoke them out. I'm just laying down the color with this Luxie pointed brush, and then we will go in and blend. Okay, you want to grab a round brush. Right there I have the inner corner highlight brush that is from Jaclyn Hill and the Morphe collection, and I'm using that. It's a really small rounded brush. You can also use a Luxie mini round brush. It does the same thing, or a Morphe brush as well, and I'm just kind of blending and smoking everything out. This way everything's blended together and it looks nice. I'm not going to be putting a shimmer down there because mattes work best. Going in with some black mascara to coat my lashes, and then I will use false lashes because mine are pretty non-existent these days. So let's get this done and see what my finished look looks like. Yay! I can actually talk. So this is my finished look. Basically what I did on camera was show you how I gotta look using the new Too Faced Cinnamon Swirl Sweet and Spicy palette, although it smells spicy. I wish it would have smelled like cinnamon rolls. That would have been pretty cool. Anyhow, so some of these shadows are kind of powdery, and I think this was a $49 palette, I want to say. I got it at Ulta. But it's one of those that I'm going to keep. Every now and then, like the teddy bear one was pretty amazing. That last year pumpkin spice, I did 2 looks with it, and some of the colors were patchy. In here you've got some that work really well and others you have to work with a little bit, but if you don't mind doing that, it's fine. Is it like a must-have? Well, it's a limited edition palette, so depending upon how you feel about Too Faced, how you feel about their limited edition, how excited you are for fall, will probably all determine whether or not you get this palette. Do I regret getting it? No. Am I going to keep it? Absolutely. I did return the pumpkin spice one, and there are times where I will return a palette if it does not meet my expectations and it's not something I'm going to use again. So overall, if you want it, absolutely. I've given you all the information that I can think of in regards to this palette. Some of the colors you do have to work with, but I do want to know your thoughts down in the comments below. Talk to me there. I really do enjoy hearing what you guys have to say. It's a nice community down there, and when you do share what you know or ask questions,
usually there's somebody down there as well that wants to know the same thing. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you haven't subscribed, I would love it if you would take a chance on this channel. Lately I've been doing voiceovers because my kitchen is being redone, but right now I actually am able to talk, so I'm excited about that. I'm excited about a lot of things. I do hauls every now and then. I do a lot of reviews. I do unbox some subscription unboxings, and I do have some PR as well. But yeah, eyeshadow looks, makeup tutorials, skincare, all of that. So if that's something you're interested in, I would love it if you would take a chance on this channel, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you are notified when I upload. And I will see you real soon in another video.